Hey everybody, I want to tell you some stories today, and I have been told that I should tell you some stories about all the new books that have come into the library. So there are three that I want to talk about. First and foremost, let me hold it up. Yes, we do buy multiple copies because I have children, I have annexes that need to be fed. The Passion of Bootblacking. There has been a lot of love put into this by Girl Amelia. This entire community knows her, but most of you don't know that her first book is now out. Evidently, this beautiful piece was a challenge. If I remember the story correctly, her master in love, Paris, was tired of her complaining about the fact that there was very little written on bootblacking. And he said, well, if you want accurate information, write a book. And she did. This is a beautiful piece. It has not only pictures and stories, by the way, the early bootblacks of the Bootblack Brigade in London, information about bootblacking, bootblacking techniques, bootblacking history. She also then goes into all of the bootblack titles and a lot of other shared secrets of bootblacking. I guess they're the kinds of things bootblacks tell each other. Anyway, the first to come into the library, so get that one. Second book I want to talk to you about is This Amazing Missive by Vince Andrews. Now, Vince also has another book that just came out, but this marvelous piece of leather history has a little bit of everything in it. I have another edition of this, and I hate to tell you how many editions I've given away to people who want kind of an overall of leather history, a little bit of protocol, a little of this and a little of that, enough to really get them started going down the road. Vince has done an amazing job on this. And let me see now. It is not the best picture of the author, but it's not bad either. So if you want to add a wonderful piece that you'll probably either pretend it's a textbook and underline in it, or do what I do and put little Post-it notes in places, this is a wonderful piece to have. And then last but not least, a box of books came in day before yesterday that had 22 copies of the same book in it. And I'm saying that because the library is going to be giving away 15 of those copies to anybody who would like to have a copy in their library and doesn't mind paying the shipping and handling. This book probably weighs 3 pounds. It is written by the Field Museum in Chicago, and it is a book about the bats of Iran. Now I'm holding this cover up so the camera can see it. It was written in the very late 70s, early 80s by Dr. Anthony F. DuBlas. Now, for those of you who remember Tony, yes, and his wonderful history with the Leather Pride flag and his long history with IML and being the publisher of Drummer and a number of other magazines through his publishing company, Desmodus. Very few people realize that Tony had a PhD in mammalogy with a specialty in bats. As a matter of fact, he named his publishing company, Desmodus, after his favorite bat. A box of these books was sent to us by Tom Butts, thank you, sir, for the library to do with what they wished. It is an academic treatise written by Tony after he spent 7 or 8 months studying the bats of Iran. Not exactly leather, but a fascinating read. It is some personal exploits, some discussion of the country, the climate, etc., and some very detailed information about bats. So if you would like to have a little piece of the other side of Dr. Anthony F. DeBlas, give the library a holler, and we will add one of these to your scholastic library. Anyway, signing off for today, but I have been chided that I'm supposed to remind you that if you like what you see, please go to the library's YouTube channels, and there are now 2 of them. One just of me telling stories and doing crazy things, and one of me and half of the library kids doing all sorts of unboxing videos, exploring some things in the library and so on. So if you can't join us in the library, check out the library channel. Until more things come in, which hopefully will be shortly, Mama Vi signing out.